What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Rev Sports Wrap It Up. Might be the last Rev Sports Wrap It Up of 2024, if you think about it. What?
Possible.
But I hope you all are doing well out there. I am Josh Maber alongside the lovely Soul. How are we doing?
Doing good. Yeah, next Wednesday is Christmas, so I don't think we'll be on, but I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good. No, we'll be spending time with family and watching football for Christmas there. So, but
and basketball
without LeBron James. But we'll get to that here in a second. But first, what I was saying before is football, and we're gonna hug it and chuck it and do that football.
Let's do it
first. The Rams going down. We have three more weeks. So playoff spots are still up for grabs. Some teams are eliminated. Some teams are vying for a number one seed. Some teams have already clinched their divisions / playoff spots. I'll get into that second. Let's run down what happened in the NFL. The Rams beat the 49ers 12-6. That was one of the most boring games of football I've ever seen. Commanders beat the Saints 20-19. Chiefs beat the Browns 21-7. Wow, the Chiefs finally beat someone by more than 13 points or 12 points. Bengals beat the Titans 37-27, but Joe Burrow was pissed on the sideline, saying it was as the lip readers out there when he was griping at his coach, saying it was effing embarrassing that the record is what it is for that. The Texans beat the Dolphins 20-12. They're not out yet, but
I don't have hope that we're making it.
Right. Ravens beat the Giants 35-14. Lamar threw more touchdown passes and interceptions than incompletions. So that was kind of cool there. Jets beat the Jaguars 32-25. Cowboys beat the Panthers 30-14. As long as we play like the Panthers and other bottom feeding teams, I think we got it. The problem is we don't play those all the time. So we don't got it. But hey, a win's a win. I'll take it. Buccaneers beat the Chargers 40-17, which was kind of surprising based on how the Chargers are playing. Broncos beat the Colts 31-13. Cardinals beat the Patriots 30-17. Bills beat the Lions 48-14, was probably the game of the week. Eagles beat the Steelers 27-13. That Steelers offense was not very good, but the Eagles defense is pretty good. Packers keep going. Unless they play within the division, they pretty much win everything they do. Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. Vikings beat the Bears 30-12. The Bears it's just sad. And the Falcons beat the Raiders 15-9. So some weird scores that we had. And like I said, kind of where they are as far as the NFL standings, the Bills have already won their division. Jets, Patriots are eliminated from playoffs. Miami Dolphins, though, still can get in. They're sitting there at 6-8. Not quite yet.
We need to make our field goals and not throw interceptions, though. That would help.
Yeah, it would help. Pittsburgh has clinched a playoff spot, but they sit one game ahead of Baltimore at 9-5, and the Cincinnati Bengals, again, they're not eliminated either. They're sitting there at 6-8, but who is eliminated is the Cleveland Browns of the AFC North. AFC South, Houston has already clinched the division. The Colts aren't out of it yet, but they're not that great. And the Jaguars and Tennessee Titans are eliminated. The Chiefs have already, surprise, have already clinched the division, but technically the Bills are only one game back from them. No, 2 games back, with 3 games to play. My fault. So the Bills could sneak in and get that number 1 seed, but I doubt it with what's going on. Denver sits at 9-5, and Los Angeles Chargers sit at 8-6. I would think it's probably going to be, as far as the wild card spots, it's probably going to end up being the Ravens, Broncos, and Chargers. But a lot of things can happen in three weeks. So
you never know.
See how that happens. Switching to the NFC, the Eagles have locked up a playoff spot, but the Commanders still technically could win the division, even though they're 3 games back with 3 games to play. So if the Eagles win, Eagles clinch the division. Dallas is still not out of the playoffs. It's over, guys. They died a long time ago. But
I think you guys died when you couldn't defeat the sun.
Yeah. Once I forget the Greek god of the sun. I forget what his name is. He sits on the anyway. We can't defeat that guy. I'll put it that way. That Greek god.
I'm thinking the older one, which is Helios, and then I think
Helios.
The twin Artemis and Apollo. Apollo takes over.
Right, and then the two wolves in Norse mythology, where they chase each other, and make this, the sunsets and the.
You come here for mythology talk instead of
Yep.
sports, right?
Right, that's what you do. A whole plethora, a cornucopia of knowledge as we dish it out here on the internet and on the interwebs. The Giants are eliminated. The Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings have claimed a playoff spot, but the division is still up for grabs. They're both sitting with 12 wins and 2 losses. The Bears are eliminated. They got eliminated when they said they were the Bears. I think
Bears.
It still suck. Tampa is sitting at 8-6. Falcons are sitting at 7-7. New Orleans sitting at 5-9. Technically, the Saints aren't out of it, but it's a tight race there for Atlanta and the Bucks. I mean, because Atlanta has beat the Bucks twice this year, so they win the tiebreaker for that. So if for some reason the Bucks stumble down the stretch and Atlanta at least ties them, Atlanta gets that division win there. And the Panthers are eliminated. And NFC West, it is still wide open because you had the Rams at 8-6, the Seahawks at 8-6, Cardinals at 7-7, and the 49ers are still there with 6-8. Hey, Justin, welcome in there. So it's you kind of see everything happening. It's going to be 3 teams from the NFC North. So that's the 2 wild card spots there. And NFC West and NFC South and I'm pretty sure the Commanders are probably going to take that last spot. But you just never know. But I expect it to be Commanders, Packers, and one of those 3 NFC North teams, or those 3 NFC North teams will make the playoffs, and then we'll see if the Commanders hold on to that wild card spot, or if the Rams, Seahawks, maybe Bucks, I don't know, can sneak in there. But that's where I'm feeling that. But can't count the Cardinals out yet. Any other thoughts on kind of the playoff standings and what you think will end up happening?
I know that you keep saying the Dolphins are not out, but yeah, I think we're not going to the playoffs this year. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Tua was on IR for 4 weeks.
Yeah, and Dak Prescott is out for the year, so there you go. It's just tough sledding there. But yeah, I expect. And then as far as the MVP race is concerned, it's between Lamar and Josh Allen. I still think Saquon should be part of the conversation, but it just becomes a quarterback award. If you look at the overall stats, the only stats that Josh Allen has over Lamar is they have more wins as a team, and he has more touchdown rushes. Other than that, Lamar beats him in pretty much every category. So Josh Allen has had the more spectacular games recently, so it's kind of a recency bias when it comes to it. But if you really – and when they played each other, Lamar went off and Josh Allen got destroyed. So, I think it's probably going to end up being Josh Allen. But if Lamar plays consistent for the next 3 weeks and from how Josh Allen stumbles, he could get it. But, yeah, some people out there saying that, it's over. Josh Allen's got the MVP award. I'm like, people just might not
Depends on the voters' mind too. So if they're going to play with the recency bias, it's going to be Josh Allen. If you're going on the whole year, if you look at the game that they played against each other, then you might go towards Lamar. So it's going to be dependent on each voter, where their mind's at and what they're going to decide. So it really is a toss-up. People saying that it's over, like it's not over. It is a toss-up.
No, Justin, Justin agreeing with us. It's not over, and he's a huge waving the flag of Josh Allen. So, and obviously I've got my flag back here of Lamar. So, no bias aside, I think right now Josh Allen is in the lead. Plus the voters, Lamar just won it. He's already won 2. Josh Allen hasn't won one a lot of times. Look at the NBA, for example. Sometimes the MVP, they just gave it to the guy because they're tired of giving it to one other person. Like Joel Embiid, when he won it, honestly, they probably should have gave it to Jokic again. But it is what it is on that. So those are kind of the storylines that are going on with the NFL. I feel really bad for Joe Burrow because he is balling his butt off this season, and his defense is terrible. They make terrible look decent. as far as how bad their defense is, and it just stinks.
And there's only so much you can do as being the leader of a group project that if people are so bad, like you can't do everything.
Yeah. So kind of feel bad for that. But our correspondent, Ronnie Raven, he didn't post anything. So hopefully he's not having to go to jail or anything for back child support payments or, doing some weird scheme thing, especially around Christmas time. He's probably scamming somebody and he's probably in jail. But Ronnie, whenever he pops back up and gives us his correspondence, we'll show you all. Isn't it there when we hear from him? But if anything, I hear his lookalike Stavros Halkas has got still touring, and look him up there for that. And our boy Xavier Leggett, apparently he doesn't want to go back to Germany. That was kind of his thing there. I forget exactly what he said, but they couldn't cook something right. I don't know. He didn't want to go back.
It is cold at this time in Germany.
Yeah, true. But yeah, Xavier didn't really say much. He was on a podcast and stuff, but he didn't have talking about eating raccoon and German food and all that. So there was no real big Xavier content this week. But once he drops another gem, we'll bring it to you for that. All right, so let's move on to college football. Obviously, the brackets are already set. For all you out there, join our Discord down below. It is free. We do bracket challenges. We're doing a bracket challenge for college football playoff. Thank you for all that have already joined for our Bracket Bitches show. And it's kicking off starting Friday as far as the college football playoff. So that'll be interesting how that does there.
We'll see if we can get you guys a video of us going over our brackets before Friday's game, but it's not a guarantee.
No.
But either way, join below and get your brackets in because we got several people. Thank you to all our new Discord people and new patrons. Go if you want to join the Discord, which is free, or patrons pay us. We'll enjoy that. You can have fun with us and do these fun things and get your name mentioned on a Bracket Bitches.
Yeah, it's fun times there. But our armed services played each other, and it's just a classic game. It's always fun to watch. But Navy did beat Army, even though Army won the regular season conference. But Navy beat Army 31-13. But that's always just just seeing all the cadets and stuff in the crowd, and it's just a really.
I'm sure Jason was happy.
Oh yeah. The transfer portal, unfortunately, is causing a lot of issues because there's only a certain the reason the transfer portal is happening right now, but it's also screwing with teams that are either in what they call meaningless bowls or even Bo, I forget his last name, for Penn State, into the transfer portal. He still takes snaps. He is part of their offense. But if you don't go to a team within the transfer portal, then you could lose out. If you waited out for the college football playoff to finish, you might lose out on enrollment and getting into that other school and missing practice and all that. So you're already kind of behind the eight ball, just how it works. So people are trying to scratch their head, we understand why he left, but you're also, hurting. And he, trust me, he wants to win a national championship as much as anyone else, but he has to look out for his future because the Penn State the starting quarterback is coming back. So he's got to go somewhere where he can get meaningful snaps.
I forget. My dad was talking about this, and I was just reminded of it now with transfer portal. Wasn't there a team that now had to give up their bowl eligibility because half of the team went into the transfer portal and was leaving? I forget which team that was.
Yeah, I listed there. It's Marshall, and they were going to play Army. But because they won their conference, so they're conference champions, but their coach took another their coach took another job. So therefore all the players basically were like, all right, I'm out, and so they all transferred. It was 25 plus. They didn't have enough on their roster.
They didn't even have a quarterback.
Right. They didn't have enough on their roster. So they were like, we got to back out. And so they replaced the Conference USA champion with 5-7 Louisiana Tech. So the fact that
I thought Marshall's now Sunbelt champions.
That might be Sunbelt. I don't know. Yeah,
we used to be in the WKU used to be in the same conference as Marshall, but I think Marshall went back to Sunbelt.
Yeah, I can't remember. off the top of my head. So, hey, anyone in the comment section that decides to Google something, even though I'm sitting on my computer, I'm not going to do it. So we got to get through the show. So if anyone wants to tell us, hey, are they in the Sun Belt or Conference USA? We can't remember. Anyway, they're conference champion, but not going to play in a bowl game because all their players left. And it happens that way. And plus, like a lot of the teams that aren't in the meaningful or the college football playoff, they're looking out for them. So like it's basically like a weird exhibition at this point for these bowl games. I don't know. I don't know how you fix it because I understand why the window is there, and because you don't want to, have the kids go like they transfer a school. Yes, they're getting paid, but then they're not there long enough and they've missed time. And so they're not ready for football season the next year for their new team because they're learning new schemes and stuff. So I don't know how to fix it. And that is the question.
Someone smarter than us will have to figure that out. But yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. So, and then the scuttlebutt right now is that they have ruled that if you come from JUCO, you still have 4 years of eligibility left. Now, I don't know if that's exactly true. It was posted by meaningful people on the internets, but no one's really confirmed that. I haven't seen the articles or anything like that. But if you think about it, it's like typically a person spends about 2 years in JUCO and then transfers to a bigger, Division I school or whatever that is. And if they have 4 years of eligibility left, and their name's not like Cam Ward because it's very rare, especially as far as football is concerned. You go from JUCO, and typically you really don't. You might play 1 year in college, but you might not. You might stay all 4. So therefore, it's like, all right, you spent 6 years in college. Are you a doctor? No, I'm a fullback. Like that's where we're heading on certain things. So it's still just.
I mean, look at think of like the kids that were in school during the COVID years. Paige is still playing. How many years? And I think she has another year of eligibility if she really wanted to.
Yeah.
After this year.
The quarterback for Oklahoma State just got eligible for his 8th year. Like, time to hang it up, bro. You're basically going to get NIL deal from the AARP. It's just at this point.
Hey, get your money.
Hey, get your money, man.
Especially if you know that you're not going to be playing professionally and you can get paid now, get your money.
Yeah. Playing quarterback for Oklahoma State pays a lot more than some desk job or enterprise or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the last little nugget here, Netflix announces a new docuseries covering the 2024 season of the SEC will release in the summer of 2025. But Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Texas passed on being in the new Netflix docuseries. So this will be interesting, especially as a Louisville fan, because then we get to see UK lose 41-14 all over again. And it's fun. It's fun. You enjoy it. So yeah, looking forward to that one. I wonder how they do it too. It's like, do they go to every single team? Because there's a lot of SEC teams, even with the ones that opted out. Still a lot of SEC teams to cover. So you're just doing like every episode just covers one team. I would think that's probably the way they're going to go.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So that would probably be the easiest way. That way you don't. But it depends.
Or
on
they could do chronological order. That is a possibility too. The docuseries that had like Caitlin Clark and Camila Cardoso and a few other people, they just went chronologically through the college basketball season. So you went back and forth between Caitlin, Camila, and the other two. I forgot who it was. The other two. We're sorry.
Come on.
It was a while ago that I watched it. You can tell the two of them are WNBA players now, so they're the important ones.
For once, Kate Martin's not a part of something, right? I mean, she was technically because it was covering Caitlin Clark's year, so Kate Martin was involved.
She was in the thing.
Yeah, she's just always like in the background, and then people are like, "Oh, Kate Martin." She's like, "Me? What? That's her whole career right now." It's just what? Oh, me? Oh, okay. with that. But yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see how it's made. Netflix has done pretty well with their sports based docuseries. They're
Yeah.
it's not as good. It's not as good as the 30 for 30 stuff that they do, but it's still pretty cool.
And I think that they've done really well of like broadening and going to multiple different sports and doing different, like you can go on Netflix now and watch a documentary on literally any sport.
Yeah.
It's available to you. And not that like 30 for 30 doesn't do those, because they do, but this is like a one-stop shop of like, hey, do I want to learn a little bit about, track and field? There's
Formula One is huge. That docuseries.
Formula One. Let me watch some Formula One. Yeah. Or if you want to, cry about the U.S. women's national team having their worst performance ever at the World Cup, you have that docuseries for you too.
Right. You got the Redeem Team documentary that they did. You've got.
You mean the Kobe documentary? That just
pretty much the Kobe documentary. Pretty much that's what it is. And then you have Full Swing, which is covering the golf, PGA, golf, live, all that. But they covered, quarterbacks, receivers. So just got a whole bunch of stuff there. Oh, and then I forget the one that they're doing with the LeBron and Anthony Edwards. And
Starting Five.
Thank you. So they covered that. So yeah, just to put, like you said, I think they need to get cricket, and I think they've completed it.
Get the American cricket team that beat Pakistan.
Just cover that win. Just cover that win. For that. But no, that's hey, Netflix does real well, and I mean they're streaming NFL games on Christmas. Monday Night Raw is starting streaming there exclusively on January 6th.
So
at least
Netflix, if you would like to give us some money and sponsor us, we're here for you.
We're here for you. If you want to do, or we will just take unlimited households. We can also do that as a backup. Because that's.
But the NFL on Christmas Day, aka the Beyonce's halftime performance show.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. For some, for me, it's Lamar. But Beyonce's there too. For those who are wondering. But that's pretty much it for football at this moment. So let's move on to basketball. The NBA, they wrapped up the midseason tournament.
Your favorite tournament ever.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I'm glad those courts are gone. Oh my God, they were ugly.
They were god ugly.
They were god awful. Oh, it was terrible. But the Bucks won. Congratulations to the Bucks. It's mainly they try and make it the midseason to make players care, because that's the problem is you just don't have players that care. So each when the team wins, each player gets, I forget how much money they get, but it's mainly for the bench players that do get minimum, I think 700,000 or something like that. Like they don't the lower, like the guys that average 1 point a game. Now Damian Lillard, he doesn't need the money. Giannis doesn't need the money, right? So like those upper tier players really don't need the money. But Giannis is gonna play. Like Giannis has always been that he's a gamer. Like he doesn't just take off or anything like that.
And not only that, Giannis is also someone who, if money is available to him because he came from nothing, he's gonna, like, he's still very you've seen the interviews where he's very frugal. He's like, oh, this jacket, it was given to me. These shoes, they were given to me. This watch, fake. Like he's very much doesn't forget where he came from, and he's not an overspender. So he's probably like, oh, I got some money. Okay, I can save that. Put it in my savings account.
Yeah, if girls out there, if you dislike Giannis, there's something wrong with you. He's awesome. Shout out to the 50 Chick-fil-A nuggets for the 50 points he scored in the NBA Finals. I love that.
And we'll talk a little bit more about Giannis a little bit later and how awesome he is. But yeah, you can't hate that man.
No, it's like the Bucks won. Cool, Giannis. All right. But there is some downside to the NBA, which I figured it was going to be. The NBA right now, ratings are down by 28% of last year. And last year wasn't that great either. And just the thing, we talked about the show. Like everyone's like, all right, Josh, what do you want to do about the regular season? It doesn't matter right now. And the players don't care. And the product's really not that great. It depends on like the old schools. Like they like post play. They like more physicality, and they really don't let them get physical And then when you see players just chucking up crap, there's too many games. So, and there's low management and stuff like that. So, the people are like, how are you going to fix it? And then now people are getting on the inside the NBA for they're the reasons that because they keep calling out bad play. No, that's their job. Their job is to analyze the game. And the only reason the NBA people tune in, heck, I'm pretty sure inside the NBA has better ratings than some of the games that are on
100%. And if the product is bad, the product is bad, which is so funny to me when people who don't watch like the WNBA talk about like the WNBA and how it's so much worse than the NBA when people are actually watching the WNBA and those viewership is rising and going up and up and up. And if you want a little bit of that old school field where you're having people be very physical with each other, you're seeing that still in the WNBA where you're not seeing that as much in the NBA. And so it is not surprising to me that the NBA is going down in viewership.
Yeah. And plus there's not this like new hot attraction where you had Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and you had that storyline. Like there's not that storyline. The only storyline we have is what the hell's going on with LeBron. And I really don't, and we'll get into that here in a second, but that's the thing is you actually people were intrigued because it's because Caitlin Clark is, and we'll get into Caitlin Clark here in a second for her accolade that she received. And then people, and so people were tuned in because it's finally, they're like, oh, okay. And she captured the nation. She did.
Yeah,
and
she did. And then people saw the product and then they stayed and then they watched the playoffs even when she was out and they continued to watch it. So
she was a linchpin, basically, that got people there.
And so you kind of need that a little bit for the NBA. What's that going to be? It's probably not anyone coming out of college that's going to do that for the NBA. You would need something crazy to happen. A big player maybe going to a small market team or something. I don't know.
I mean, the players right now that are now we'll see with this Cooper Flag situation because he's at Duke right now, and people have been touting him since he was like 14, and he's lived up to the hype every single step of the way. And there's a lot of good freshmen in this class. It's just all about marketability because even Cooper Flag, it's like you really don't see them drool over Cooper Flag that they did like Caitlin Clark. And then and then also too, there's so many foreign players. So no one really knows who they are. Like even Wemby he's a 7'5", 7'6" guy with handles, and he's an incredible. But no one watches that shit.
Well, watch the Olympics too. Like how incredible he is. And maybe he needs to get to a part of the respect of the European game as well. Like if you see those fans, it's like soccer ultras, but for basketball. And it's crazy. And maybe in the way that like soccer and like watching European soccer is growing a lot in this country, maybe that could be something of the fact that we can have that grow on the basketball sides. We just need to have a network to watch it. Because one of the reasons why European soccer, especially the EPL, is because NBC picked that up. Mm-hmm. And so people were readily able to see it. We actually have more access to the English Premier League than people living in England. We can watch all the games when they can't in England. So that's what people who like work in the sphere talk about. They're like, every time we go to England, we can't watch the games.
Right.
We have to get a VPN or something to watch the games.
Yeah. I mean, it's all because of Ted Lasso, because that was literally how they made Ted Lasso, was to promote the EPL on NBC, I believe.
Yeah, he was part of the original. And my favorite thing too is they were made fun of Leicester, and then the following year Leicester win. Right. But which that usually doesn't happen. Like those smaller teams do not win at all, and they even got relegated too, like recently in the past few years. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with. I think inside the NBA helps them because everyone kind of loves that banter between each other. But yeah, I don't know how they're gonna make the ratings better. They trying with this in-season tournament. People seem to not really care or like it that much. So maybe they need to try something else.
And plus, some people just don't like the way the game is because it's just 3-pointers and drive to the basket, 3-pointers, drive, and every team's pretty much the same. So playoffs are, hey Brennan, playoffs are amazing when it comes, because it's a different. They turn it up for the playoffs, and it's electric. I love NBA playoffs. It's kind of the same thing with baseball. So it's like hockey's hockey. Like you watch hockey, go. Best live sport to watch is hockey.
It is so much more fun live than watching it on TV. And then my favorite thing when I was younger with hockey is that you can go to a hockey match and you're also going to get a boxing match in the middle of the hockey game, which is something that I absolutely loved. Right. They don't let it happen as much now, like they did in the 90s and early 2000s, but it still happens every once in a while. And it's a very exciting and fun thing to watch.
Right.
Gay violence.
You'll realize Soul has a little bloodthirst every once in a while. But that's okay. That's why UFC is as big as it is. That's why boxing is as big as it is. That's why gladiators were back in the Roman Empire. Like, this is what humans are. We like seeing people beat the crap out of each other sometimes. It happens. I watch wrestling and I know it's scripted, but it's still fun to watch. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, Mick Foley, you need to, and then the people are like, oh, that Hell in a Cell sucked because someone didn't risk their life jumping off a cage. Like, people get.
I was gonna say you're probably a little bit more bloodthirsty than me. You watch wrestling.
I watch it for the storylines.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's riveting, right? It's a male soap opera. I mean, it's just a soap opera for dudes, but women are totally into it too. Anyway. Before we speaking about wrestling, watch me and Justin Toner tomorrow night as we break down everything that was, and will be in the sport of wrestling at 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern tomorrow night. Mark your calendars. So I'd love to see you there. Come in and tell us what you're thinking on what's going on with wrestling, because we're getting ready to move to Netflix, as I said there. Mm-hmm. But speaking about moving, LeBron is moving off the court. He basically has just taken a leave of absence indefinitely. There really isn't any sign of him it's low management, but I'm not going to go into the scuttlebutt of this.
Yeah, there's been some scuttlebutt here. We're not going to bring those up. If you want to learn the scuttlebutt that's going on, you can definitely Google it. We don't want to talk about that because if it's false, then we just kind of look like assholes. So, right. You can go Google the scuttlebutt if you want.
Yeah, go Google the scuttlebutt. It's very strange. I'll put it that way. Yes. Him just like taking a step away. Now, again, he's 40, so it's like, okay, I understand that. But also, people are like with recent events, and then they're like trying to, they're like Charlie from It's Always Sunny with the red strings, and shit, got to talk to you about LeBron. So that's why we're not going into it, because that's a deep dark hole of the internet that we don't want to sit here and speculate on, because we don't want to overstep something that seems really far fetched as it is.
Now, if any of that ends up being true,
we will tell you.
Report it. We will tell you, because we don't shy away from reporting those kinds of things here. Mm-hmm. But right now, we're not going to.
Right. But we will report on and LeBron is sponsored by Nike. You know, it's sponsored by Nike and just got a fat raise. Is our girl Asia Wilson. Shout out to her. So she just signed a new deal. I know there's some couple of nice little photos that she took on a private plane going to Nike headquarters, I believe, with her logo on it. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool there. Her, rolling out the red carpet for her. She's very well much deserves this raise. But
I can't wait till his shoe comes out.
Right? I know you're going to be first in line for that one. But the extension, little details here. The extension marks one of the richest all-time shoe deals for a women's basketball player. Wilson, 28, is coming off a dominant 7th season in the WNBA, in which she won her 3rd career MVP by unanimous decision, becoming the 4th player in league history to achieve the feat. Wilson was named one of Nike's signature athletes this past May and has an upcoming signature shoe, which Sol will be first in line for, set to be released next spring. She first signed with Nike as a rookie in 2018. Wilson's new deal ranks, quote, among the highest paid shoe endorsements in the sport. Per Sharania, and joining those of fellow WNBA stars Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu, both of whom are... I know, I always butcher her last name. Both of whom are also signed with Nike. There wasn't any detail that I saw of the actual figure that hasn't been presented yet, but just know girls got a fat wallet now.
Yeah. And like also to Sabrina Ionescu, did you see that her shoe was ranked in the top 5 of like people who buying her shoe, the Sabrina 2s?
Mhm.
Like obviously Kobe's, like 3 of Kobe's shoes were in the top 5, but Sabrina's was there. I think it was like number 3 or something like that. So like she also, with the amount of people are paying to wear her shoes, she's also got a fat wallet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Asia as the number 1 supporter show on the internet. If you want to drop by and tell us what the deal is and help some people's out, we're totally open arms about it. But congratulations, well deserved.
MVP.
And I'm glad Nike was able to I lost my train of thought, but you get what I'm saying. Nike was able to award her,
give her what she deserves.
Give her what she deserves there. Okay. Yeah. So speaking about Caitlin Clark and got what she deserved in a good way, Time Magazine named her Athlete of the Year. So congratulations, Cece. She is. Yeah. I mean, she's the top athlete that everyone talked about in 2024. And she is.
This is well deserved by her.
Right. We got a slide showing the cover of the magazine. And obviously this came with no controversy at all. Everyone loved it, right? No one complained.
No one had anything to say about it.
No one had anything to say. No one was going on TV saying that the whole league, or at least the Mystics, should be on the cover. Like, no, it's nothing of that nature. But we got some things here. And when asked to define her year in one word, Clark chooses historic, which she nailed it on that. It is. Yeah. And they were saying, she's not going to, the league's too tough for her, all that stuff, all the doubters. And then here she is. Like, I mean, shout out to her not being on the Olympic team, because I think that really propelled her to get in this cover. I'm just going to put that way.
Yeah, I think her having a break, we talked about it before, her having a break was the most important thing. And then I also, like, even from a standpoint of, I don't think she should have been on the team anyways, because she hadn't been there with everyone else, hasn't practiced with everyone else. It's a team chemistry thing. So she 1,000%, unless she's injured, which hopefully, knock on wood, she's not, she's going to be in the LA Olympics and she's going to fucking ball out. But it just wasn't her time this time with this Olympics, and it allowed her to rest and allowed her to ball out the rest of the WNBA season. So, yeah.
But here's some quotes from Caitlin. I've been able to captivate so many people that have never watched women's sports, let alone women's basketball, and turn them into fans. Excuse me. Time Magazine also gave praise to the other WNBA players by writing, to be clear, Clark had plenty of help. The WNBA was already enjoying positive momentum going into the 2024 season, thanks to MVPs like Asia Wilson and Breonna Stewart, and some of Clark's fellow rookies like Angel Reese and Cameron Brink, and Kate Martin, brought their, I'm not going to give her love. I can't help it. Her story is just really cool to me.
It is cool.
Brought their own followings, but Clark took the league and the sport to a new level. Even during a period when investment across women's sports is surging, team valuations are on the rise, and fan interest and engagement are at all-time highs, her arrival was transformative. Clark also spoke about the divisiveness surrounding her, saying, I tell people I feel like the most controversial person, but I am not. It's just because of all the storylines that surround me. I literally try to live and treat everybody in the same exact respectful, kind way. It just confuses me at times. Her popularity also brought people together to watch women's basketball. You feel powerful, Clark says. Instantly, everybody goes crazy. People are invested in the game. They love the game. And that's what makes it so fun for me. These people aren't supporting women's sports to check a box. It's going to be the new normal. In the article, Clark also said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been Black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try and change that. The more we can elevate Black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Clark also spoke about the college game, and while watching USC versus Ole Miss on the opening day of college basketball. She said, I feel like if I was out there, I would literally have 50. The college game is so much easier than professional. To no surprise. Also, another note was released today. To no surprise, I was retiring her jersey. I thought they already did that. But yeah, they announced that they were doing that. Some people, I'll put it this way. When she said these things, I know white privilege is such a buzz phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if she says there was. I'm not, that's the way I look at it. When sometimes people say it out there to put a magnifying glass, she doesn't need a magnifying glass. She is the magnifying glass. So when she says it, there probably is. So X that part off. Also, too, Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports came out and basically was like, if you don't back Caitlin and you're trying to go against her now, you were never a Caitlin Clark fan, which we talked about before. So if Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports has his,
we don't like very much over here.
I personally, I think he's done a lot for small businesses, and he is who he is. He doesn't put on a front or anything like that. But that's not this discussion. But basically, what I'm saying is, if Dave Portnoy is saying this, and he is a huge Caitlin Clark supporter, and he's become a huge Indiana Fever fan. For that, he put $10,000 on them to win the WNBA. There was a stream that they were doing. They're all watching football, and Dave's in a corner with his Indiana Fever shirt on, griping about the referees and Leah Boston's such a monster and blah blah blah. So that being said, if she said it, there is her elevating the league. We've been saying that. That's why I thought it was a positive of her being in the league. So for those people that are just talking about you're going on a different way. And you're taking away from something that is very historic, being the first, I believe, female athlete of the year, or at least of the athlete of the year. She's the first female or something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that, and I don't want to say that because I'm sure there have had to be.
Yeah.
So, but to my, and we spoke about this, like, the divisiveness of people trying to say that, like, you can't be fans of Caitlin Clark and, like, Angel Reese is so stupid. You can be fans of both players.
They're the Larry and Magic. Embrace that.
We've talked about that multiple times. We talked about how, and she put it out. She said it perfectly. Like, this league is built on Black people. Her favorite player was Maya Moore. And Kelsey Plum has talked about it. She's now talking about it. And a lot of the white players have talked about how, like, they get special treatment because they're white sometimes when it comes to the media. And so the fact that they're open about it, they're speaking about it, and, like, that it's just kind of a known commodity for anyone who's been a WNBA fan, that's been the case when it comes to the media. They tend to go more towards the white players. So I'm glad that she's actually saying something. She has said stuff too during the season, and that's why, like, I don't like when people are like, "Oh, she's not saying anything," because she has said things before.
That was also what aggravated me, is people are like, "Oh, Caitlin Clark needs to say something," and now and then she said it, and watch those same people are like, "Well, she didn't say it enough. She's not saying it consistently." I'm like, she said the thing. She's doing what she's always done. It's always been Caitlin. Like, I don't.
And like, to me, even though, like, I do not like that man at all, but I agree with him on this one part. Goes, if you were all gung-ho about Caitlin Clark, she's your favorite player, you love the Indiana Fever, and then now because she said this, you don't like her anymore, which we've seen on some news sites, then you were never a fan of hers to begin with. So I think there's some funny stuff in this, like her talking about, like, I want to drop 50. Who has talked about how much harder the professional game is than the regular game? Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. Everyone gives them shit every time they talk about how hard it is to transition, that it takes some time. And now here we have Caitlin Clark saying the same thing. Who would have thought that Diana Taurasi, who's been in the league forever, knows some shit?
It was everyone knows why that was brought up, is because they were all UConn players watching Caitlin Clark play UConn and against Paige. So obviously they were like, "Oh, you're just biased against," and so they're trying to make a narrative out of.
Yeah, they were trying to make a narrative, even though, like, what they said was true.
Yeah.
And it would be true again. They even talk about it with Paige herself that it's going to be an adjustment. Just people want to hear things that they want to hear, and they don't want to hear the full story and actually listen to people when they speak.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's what I wanted to make sure I brought up what Portnoy said, because I know how much you really like him, and I was like, when he says it, when he comes out, he could have followed along with everyone else trying to get clicks. Dave, that's another reason I said, like, I know you don't like him, but that's one of the things that I do like about him. He's always been him. He's always been him. He's just, the reason I don't like him is for a lot of the things that he has said or done that can come across very sexist. He's a masshole. He's a Boston masshole. That's what he is.
That comes across kind of sexist, kind of racist. And so those types of, that's why I personally don't like him. But hey, I can agree with him on this.
Yeah. And he had it was like a 5 minute. He was like, all right, Caitlin Clark rant. And then he just went off on everyone giving her shit for this. I'm like, hey, and then she's like, yeah, I want to elevate the whole league. And it's like, yeah. And it's the same. She is awesome.
And I think too, from a personal standpoint, I think a lot of the negativity has come from a loud minority. I think a majority, if not all the players, have no negativity towards her, and the people that try to create that narrative are creating false narratives that, like, because they want to just create controversy, even though that controversy doesn't exist. I don't think the players have anything against her. I don't think most people that watch the sport have anything against her. There was frustrations there of like people only paying attention to her and not everyone else, which that's understandable.
She moves the needle.
But yeah, like, she moves the needle. You have to also think about why is it that she moves the needle and other players like Aja Wilson, who don't move the needle, but don't move the needle as much. What plays into those things? She speaks about it there. Like, there is a reasoning for it. But at the same time, like, hey, she's a fucking great player. She's going to ball out. I can't wait to watch her next year. I can't wait to watch her against with Christina Sides.
Oh yeah, they just had their first workout with Stephanie too.
Yeah, I'm not Christina Sides. Stephanie, White. Sorry, yeah. Christina Sides was her coach last year. Stephanie White is. So yeah, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be great there. And you know how much Caitlin Clark moves the needle and promotes the league. We know who the Mystics owner is. I didn't know who the Mystics owner was until she went on that show. It's like, why wasn't everyone on Time Magazine? I'm like, we know who you are because of the person that's on Time Magazine. I'll put it that way. You wouldn't be interviewed if it wasn't for that person on the Time Magazine, at least at this point. So chill out. You're getting that she is helping the league, which helps your wallet. So
yeah, with that, like, I'm just like, y'all really don't have anything to talk about. Y'all lost a lot last year. Yeah. Like, maybe just shut up.
Yeah, just chill out. Because I mean, even with the Aja Wilson thing, there were so many people, like, when Asia's deal got released, they're like, here comes the Mystics owner being like, how come all my players didn't get a shoe deal? It's like, you're not Aja Wilson. I don't have to tell you. Greatness gets rewarded, guys. Hard work gets rewarded.
I think if you go and talk shit, that you need to win.
Yes.
And they didn't win last year a lot, so
I don't like woe is me when you didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not big on that. All right. Moving on, but still, shout out Asia, shout out Caitlin. Yes. And I can't wait for the next season to see how Stephanie and that Indiana Fever. It's gonna be interesting and see where Paige. Is Paige going to go to Chicago?
Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas got the first round.
Okay. And then we still have Juju at USC for another 2 years, at least.
Yes.
Well, not at least. I mean, she technically could go pro, but.
Yeah. And with Paige, she's most likely going to go first, but there's a possibility she might not go first. So we'll see.
We'll see. But it's Paige, man. I know. Anyway, for the men's side, the SEC is on a tear. right now. It's not a football conference anymore; it's a basketball conference. The SEC is off to one of the hottest starts that I can remember. In the month of December, the conference is combined 50-4. Okay. Now people are like, well, they haven't started conference play yet. They really don't start conference play till January. So that's why. So these are all non-conference. It's not like they're not playing good teams. I mean, UK, congratulations, beat Louisville. We have like 6.5 guys. So, you should have won that game. You have a really good coach. I'll say this. I don't care. Mark Pope, can you like punch a baby or get caught at a Diddy party? Because you're way too likable. And I hate it as a Louisville fan. Okay. And UK fans have also said the same thing to me about our Louisville coach. They're like, dang it, I like Pat Kelsey. This is wrong. We like each other's coaches. This is not how it's supposed to happen. This is not how the rivalry's supposed to work on that. But yeah, congratulations, Kentucky. It's all right, 41-14. I still have that. As far as, so you didn't. Yeah, if we would have lost in football, that losing to Kentucky always sucks. But at least it softened the blow a little bit. The fact that we didn't get dog walked in that game, and we dog walked them in their own stadium. So I'll at least we'll take that for that. But yeah, so it's off to a hot start there. And the ACC used to be a big basketball conference, but now it's not really. Like, it's just Duke and kind of everyone. Like North Carolina's like okay. They're competitive, but they're not great. I don't know. Florida's really good. Kentucky's really good. Tennessee's still undefeated. Alabama's going to be right there. Like, if they're probably going to get 10 to 12 teams in the tournament. That's how good they are. And it's going to be very tough to keep 10 teams out based on their non-conference schedule. But it's going to be it's this January. I can't wait for this conference play with that January, February slate. Woo! It's going to be some good basketball there as well. And then also, I think, and just to monitor if Juju can average 40 points a game, because that's kind of what she's doing right now. It's kind of crazy for that. But speaking about the women, Tennessee women are the first team in Division I WNBA or NBA history to make 33s in a game. For context, the Golden State Warriors just recently tied their franchise record with 27 threes in their loss to the Dallas Mavericks. The NBA record is 29 and is held by the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics. The Bucks was on December 29th, 2020 in their 144-97 win over the Miami Heat. Celtics was on October 22nd, 2024 in their 132-109 win over the New York Knicks on opening night of the season. Shout out to the Lady Vols. Yeah, Tennessee sports is not bad.
Not bad.
And last little thing before we move on. It's still got the rival news. My bad. Go ahead. I was getting ready to say another sport thing, but then I don't want to say.
I was going to say, do you have anything else on basketball?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Last but not least, Unrivaled. So first up, your girl, Cam Brink. She's going to be in Unrivaled. She was announced as the Lunar Owls wild card. And she'll be on the team with Nafisa Collier, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Natasha Cloud, Alicia Gray, and Shakira Austin. Are you going to change to the Lunar Owls now that Cam's there?
No, I have to stick. I have to stick to my guns. I'm not switching.
Sticking with Aaliyah Boston.
Sticking with Aaliyah. And how do you pronounce her last name? The point guard that's playing for
Ogunbowale.
Yeah, so Ogunbowale. I didn't want to butcher her last name. I got to
just say Enrique.
Okay, I can say Enrique. I always like to do last name, but yeah, I got to stick with Aaliyah and Ogunbowale. I gotta stick with my guns. That's who I predicted. I know this puts a wrinkle in my predictions, in who I'm going for, but I'm all right. I'm too committed. Gotta stick.
And then last little Unrivaled news. They were announced that they raised $35 million of capital, and investors have been revealed. Some of the notable investors are Giannis Antetokounmpo, which we spoke about earlier. So yay, Giannis. Yeah. Juju Watkins, I guess she has a lot of NIL money to be giving money to Unrivaled. Don Staley, and then Michael Phelps and his wife, Nicole.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. You said when is it? Summer?
January 17th.
January 17th. Oh, okay. Summer is the actual like when the WNBA is going on.
Yes.
So my bad. I'm getting my crossed ups on there. But no, I'm definitely interested to see. I know Tvshka can't wait for Kelsey Plum. He might be more interested in her being
Kelsey
walking
Plum's
in.
not part of it
Oh, that's
anymore.
right.
Remember?
Oh, yeah. I just
We
now
talked
remember
about that like last week.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. All right. That's all I got.
You doing okay, Josh?
Yep. Getting there.
I have nothing else on basketball. Do you have any more thoughts on Unrivaled or on basketball?
No, I mean, if whatever thoughts I have are probably going to be wrong. I probably said something totally opposite the week before. But no, also too, the Final Four in volleyball is happening, and Louisville's in it. So it's Louisville, Nebraska, Pitt, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the other team. But we will have a volleyball national champion. It is played at Louisville, so Louisville has a chance to win a national championship in their own place. So that'd be kind of cool there. So that's why I wanted to highlight that. But we can. So, speaking about my brain, who is kicking and screaming right now for getting stuff wrong, we can move on to soccer.
Good, kicking and screaming. I'm not gonna kick or scream, but I might cry. Another one of the old guard, Becky Sauerbrunn, is retiring. And, like everyone else, so they were retiring beforehand. She just, like, played her last game. Everyone's giving all the flowers to her teammate, Sink. And she's just like, no, I'm going to stay quiet until everything's over. And then I'm going to tell everyone I'm retiring. Becky, I love you. You wouldn't be you if you didn't be like, I don't want any attention at all on me. But she did go to Instagram to write. So she said, it's time. You work hard, you take each moment, and then it happens. You wake up one day and realize you're still dreaming, and then you work even harder to do the impossible, to hold on to that dream, to shape it, to stretch it out for as long as you can, knowing full well that one day you would either have to let it go or watch it slip from your grasp. But you do it anyway because it's worth it. Nothing will compare to the last 16 years. How could it? The challenge of chasing victory, the bravery to fail, the willingness to suffer, the joy and relief when you achieve it, the drive to go again. 16 years ago, I woke up dreaming and haven't slept since. That makes it sound easy. It was never easy, but even so, I'd run it back because what a gift. 90 minutes finished, steam rising off our bodies, the sense of a job well done, dirty jerseys and scraped legs, all in the service of clean tackles and cleaner sheets. Knowing that if I step here, they'll go there, and now I can win it. The tilt of the head and the raised eyebrow that tells my teammates everything that needs to be done. Of course, I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. To the coaches who believe in me, to the fans who supported us, to the admin and support staff who kept me moving, to my friends and family who stood by me, to my partner for all the practice reps and knowing not to critique them, and to all my teammates who bought in and fought both for each other and for an idea bigger than ourselves. Thank you. It was an honor and a privilege to play with you and for you. It means the world to me that you gave me so much. I never took any of it for granted, but I also know nothing I say or do will ever be enough to repay you. All I can do is hope that you go to share in some of the joy I felt every time I stepped onto a field, that you got to dream with me, even if it's just for a little while. This isn't the end. I'll be around. I love this game too much to leave it for good. But for the first time in 16 years, I'm going to find a quiet moment and close my eyes for a bit. Excited to see where I wake up next with so much love and gratitude. Becky Sauerbrunn. So before we go into her accolades, anything you want to say?
It's getting too old, man. They're all leaving. I can't. You wore. I'm worn out, man. After Alex Morgan, I just the hits keep coming. Rose,
that
Rose
2019 team.
Rose just play forever at this point. That's all I got. I know she was the youngest of that era, and that she's not really she's in the tweener part, but I'm just like Rose play. I associate her with that, so just Rose play forever. We lost Julie Ertz. We lost.
The accolades, she has 219 caps for the U.S. women's national team, and she captained the side for several years. She is our captain. Oh, captain, my captain. She's a two-time World Cup winner in 2015, 2019, Olympic gold medalist in 2012, Olympic bronze medalist in 2020. She's a five-time She Believes Cup winner 2016, 2020, 21, 22, 23, four-time CONCACAF Women's Championship winner 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022, CONCACAF W Gold Cup winner 2024, three-time NWSL champion 2014 and 2015 with FC Kansas City, and 2022 with Portland. She's an NWSL Shield winner 2021 with Portland, four-time NWSL Defender of the Year 13, 14, 15, and 2019, and then a seven-time NWSL Best 11 in 2013 all the way to 2019. So that's her accolades, man. Like, she's a consummate professional, consummate winner, and she's our captain. And it makes me sad.
All good things must come to an end. Father Time is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, reading those accolades, I think she could have done more. Obviously, she left a lot that she could have done. You know, like you just felt like she just had a couple more. No, just kidding. That's a crazy list of accomplishments, and I know it's tough to walk away from something you literally put blood, sweat, and tears into. But unfortunately, when you know, as a person who realized that I was not as athletic as I thought I was, I knew a long time ago I wasn't gonna, when to walk away from certain sports. But yeah, it's especially when you're achieving at the highest level. That Becky and Alex and Carly and Pino and Rapinoe and Julie Ertz and we go through the whole team, but
Sam Mewis.
Yeah.
Although her career ended because of injury, not even because of her age. But
right.
Yeah. That 2019, what we have left is Tierna Davidson, Lindsey Horan, and Rose Lavelle, pretty much.
Yeah, Horan's still going, but yeah, Rose is the one that always sticks out. Just like, hold on forever, just hold on.
And she's the one that's most fragile. She gets injured.
No, she gets so much, but it's in good hands with Trinity Rodman and Sophia.
Yeah, and Naomi Girma, like. If we're going to talk Becky Sauerbrunn, she was a center back. She was a defender. In Naomi Girma, we trust. She feels like the next Becky Sauerbrunn, really. And so I loved seeing Becky kind of hand the torch over to her in the back line. And so she's going to have these freaking accolades when she retires, which will be for a very long time, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. As we always say, thank you. As we said to all the 2019 in that era, as they unfortunately have to step away. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're going to give some more thanks to people and celebrate some people because FIFA, they gave out their awards for the year. FIFA, the best organization ever in the world.
Not corrupt at all. Moral high ground all day. Just they live in a glass house. That's what they are.
But they did actually do a pretty good job on the this year's awards. So first up, we got Best Male Player of the Year, Vini Jr. of Brazil and Real Madrid. If you see the way he plays for Real Madrid, he deserves it. It would be nice to see a little bit of that play for Brazil, but he's so freaking talented, Vini Jr. Best Female Player of the Year, Aitana Bonmatí of Spain and Barcelona. How is it not a U.S. women's national team player? No, I'm just kidding. Bonmatí is a great player. I think she also won it last year, I believe. Best Men's Coach of the Year, Carlo Ancelotti of Real Madrid. I mean, you keep winning Champions Leagues and trophies, you're going to win Best Coach of the Year. Best Women's Coach of the Year is our girl, Emma Hayes. Well deserved. Emma Hayes, who coached Chelsea and the U.S. Women's National Team this year. So not only did she win with Chelsea this year. She also won with the U.S. Like, not many people can say that. Then we have best goalkeeper on the male side, Debo, Emi Martinez of Argentina and Aston Villa. He is one of the most entertaining goalkeepers ever. Then best female goalkeeper, our girl, Alyssa Nair.
You don't have to leave either.
I know, right? I know. Of the U.S. Women's National Team and Chicago Red Stars. Then we have no Americans made the best 11 on the men's side. Not surprising at all. Also, no Messi in the best 11 on the men's side. We have that here. So Debo, obviously, there. We got Rudiger's. Bellingham made it. Lamine Yamal, who he's like the phenom at Barcelona and Spain. He's there's a picture of when Lamine Yamal was like a baby, and at Barcelona, it's a younger Messi giving him a bath. So there's that picture. That's how old Messi is and how young Lamine Yamal is. That he's FIFA's best 11, but he also like was bathed by Messi when he was a baby. Very cute baby. And then you got Vinny Jr. there and Haaland up top.
Haaland's a beast, dude.
He is a beast. Although Man City not doing so hot this year, which is kind of funny.
No, but Haaland is he's a ball. He's really good.
A very good player. Very good player.
I'm surprised no Liverpool players made the cut.
Yeah, no Mo Salah.
No, not most. I mean, Mo Salah is like Mr. just consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy John Roca, that's the only thing he ever gripes about is Salah this, Salah that.
Mm. And then next up on the best 11, we got the U.S. Women's National Team. Girl Lindsay Horan, Alyssa Nair, and Naomi Girma, who I spoke about a little bit earlier. So they made the best 11. Well deserving for them. And then my favorite award that I didn't know was an award until recently, FIFA's Marta Award. Awarded to the best goal of the year, went to Marta and Brazil's 4-0 win over Jamaica in a friendly. Let's watch Marta winning the Marta Award.
I mean, her best goal was actually in the playoffs in WSL, but whatever. It's Marta. I don't stray away from Marta content. Yeah, that one she had in NWSL was better, but still pretty badass.
Yeah. One of the nominees was your girl, Trinity Rodman, with her goal against Japan at the Olympics. We would show you, but NBC would take us down. So we're going to leave a link down to that goal below. But your girl, Trinity, she was a nominee.
She was also on Call Her Daddy recently. There was a clip that came out and saying that her and Dennis really don't have a relationship. Kind of made me sad.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
Right, but it still just makes me sad. I just don't. I don't like it when your parents aren't in your lives. It just sucks. I don't know. Just
her mom is in her life.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, just anytime a parent isn't involved, I don't know.
Yeah. It is very sad. It is very sad.
It's very sad. But maybe Sophia Smith, you can be nominated next year. It's cool. Yeah, keep it up. I have faith you could probably do it. You could probably get to Trinity's level. It makes it's a lot easier if Tvshka's here to riff on that, but I'm still gonna get my jab in.
And then on the men's side, the best goal of the year is called the FIFA's Puskas Award, and that was awarded to Alejandro Garnacho in Man U's 1-0 win over Everton. 1, gross. 2, we also would show you this, but NBC would take us down. So we'll leave a link to that goal as well down below. But Man U winning, gross. But those are the FIFA awards of this year. Any thoughts or anything you would want to say the people who've won. Marta winning her award.
I know. Marta winning the Marta Award. Wow, how that happened. Messi not being on the FIFA starters. It's just which is weird not to see Ronaldo and Messi, but that's just kind of showing you, the 2019ers are stepping away from the game, and Messi and Ronaldo not being, in those starting 11. And like I brought up, is it Salah? No,
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah, yeah. I mean him, and just there's certain like big names that you would expect to be on there, or not. Whereas like Holland, I mean, he might have they. Oh yeah, the best penalty player of the year typically. So yeah, but no, those are the things. And hey, I know is Nair. She says she's going to play one more season in the NWSL.
Listen, Nair is playing. Still going to play in the NWSL, and apparently also Marta might not retire from NWSL. She might come back.
Hey, once she got that victory, now she wants it's like that Tom Brady thing. Like, what's your favorite let's just say Super Bowl you won? He goes, the most recent one.
So she's definitely retired from international football though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I know, but and I guess I better check out some Vinny Jr. highlight tapes because I'm not going to say I don't watch a lot of soccer, but I don't know who Vinny Jr. is. So apparently I need to learn some stuff.
Vinicius Jr. We literally talked about him earlier in this year.
Yep. My brain is not working. It's okay.
Good job. Yeah.
What else we got?
Well, going now from FIFA to another corrupt organization, CONCACAF. The 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup draw has been made. The reason I'm saying Champions Cup is because it used to be Champions League, and then it used to be called different things. They change the name every once in a while just to keep us on our toes, Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, Champions Cup is a competition where all the best teams in CONCACAF, that is the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, compete against each other to see who the best team in the region is. This competition has happened every year since 1962. Under different names, but still every year since 1962. Other than 2022, when the Seattle Sounders won, a Mexican team has won since 2006, and Liga MX usually dominates this competition. They have the most wins out of everyone else. They have a total of 39 wins total in this competition, with the next highest country being Costa Rica with 6. So that just gives you a little bit of how Mexico does in this competition compared to everyone else. I think the U.S. we're at 5. But I'm gonna show this slide here. This has all of the players. It's a little small, but I'm going to say most notable matchups is definitely going to be Inter Miami versus Sporting KC.
Yep.
Especially for Rev. I'm an Inter Miami fan. Tvshka, who's not here today, he's a Sporting Kansas City fan. Inter Miami qualified by being Supporters Shield winners. Sporting KC qualified by being runner-ups in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final. LAFC won the Open Cup, but had already qualified for the tournament, so that gave Sporting KC the opportunity to qualify. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been in this tournament. So they need to thank LAFC for already qualifying for me. And then the winner of this game is going to play Cavalier FC of Jamaica. Since this competition has home and away, I would love to go to Jamaica and just hang out with the Jamaicans in the stands. We talked about that when the U.S. men were playing Jamaica, and I said, look at the stands. They're having so much fun up there. I want to party with the Jamaicans.
Yeah. I'm not doing the accent. Nope, not doing that.
Don't do it.
Nope, not doing it.
Another matchup I would like to have is for Chivas to beat Chiobao FC from the Dominican Republic to then play their rivals Club America in the round of 16. Those are both Mexican teams, Liga MX. They're big rivals, so that would be like a big game if they can win, beat Chiobao. They should beat Chiobao, but you never know with Chivas. especially recent Chivas. And then I know the matchup Josh is looking most forward to is FC Cincinnati versus FC Motagua of Honduras. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
They just become my favorite team in the whole tournament. And you said CONCACAF was corrupt. Exhibit A. Okay, this is just dumb. Why? You're not supposed to be in the MLS, much less this tournament. I'm pretty sure you're a fine team. You're playing for the wrong city because they cheated. They cheated to get with this cheating organization of CONCACAF. It's bullcrap. Turn this tournament around. They're acting up.
So we'll see how happy or how sad Josh is, depending on how far FC Cincinnati goes in this tournament. Real quick, the other round one matchups are LAFC versus Colorado Rapids, Monterrey versus Forge FC of Canada, Vancouver Whitecaps versus Saprissa of Costa Rica, Pumas versus Calvary FC of Canada, Cruz Azul versus Real Hope of Haiti. I just love their name, Real Hope.
Yeah. Not just hope, but freaking real
hope. Real hope. Seattle Sounders versus Antigua of Guatemala, Tigres versus Real Esteli of Nicaragua, and Real Salt Lake versus Herediano of Costa Rica. I think I said that right. I'm sure Josh would say it so much better.
Sure. I like yours better. We'll just go with that. I'm still trying to figure out my favorite. I'm trying to pronounce my favorite team in the tournament. I'm just going to call them the Montagues from Romeo and Juliet. Come on, Montagues. Okay. And plus, they're going up against a team that starts with a C, and they're crap. So, it's Montagues versus the Capulets. That's where I'm going to go with it.
The teams with automatic buys are Cavalier FC of Jamaica for being Caribbean Cup champions, Alajuelense of Costa Rica for being Central American Cup champions, Columbus Crew for being League Cup champion, Club America for being Liga MX champions, and LA Galaxy for being MLS Cup champions. So they are automatically in the round of 16 and just waiting for their matchups.
Is our boy going to be streaming this tournament?
Probably.
Okay. I'm looking forward to this.
He's a Sporting Kansas City fan, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Sporting KC versus Miami. I'm definitely going to be tuning into that.
You have him, who is the biggest Messi fan in the world because he's Argentinian,
right?
Against the team that he likes, even though Sporting Kansas City has 0 Argentinians.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm pretty sure I might have to go and see some of his later streams if he broke down this tournament and him just going back and forth about Inter Miami and Sporting KC and how he's like torn because it's like his favorite player of all time.
Well, I think he's rooting Sporting KC.
Oh no, he's going to end up going Sporting KC, but it's still it's his favorite player of all time going against his team. It's not like it's the first time it's happened, but in this type of tournament.
And then round 1 starts in February, so we get to look forward to that in February. Let us know if you want us to do a bracket, bitches, for this, because here's a bracket. We're bitches, we can do it.
And you'll watch me bitch about the bracket, bitches, because I'm going to lose again. So yeah, all you sickos and perverts out there that want to see me in misery, even my co-hosts do. Tune in.
Hey, you know what? I watch you. You'll probably win this friggin' tournament, and you'll be the happiest ever because you don't know anything about any of the teams.
Other than Cincinnati's the devil. That's all I got.
Hey, I only know really about Inter Miami, Chivas, and Club America, and the other MLS teams.
All right, let me ask you this: if Miami ends up winning this, is it you still gonna be happy but still pissed off because of their performance in the MLS Cup?
No, I'll be happy. It's another cup.
Okay.
To me, I'm not even really pissed off anymore about their performance in that. I'm just like, it is what it is. Goes. We've never won round 1 of the playoffs. Goes. Can't even win when we have Messi. So.
Well, that's kind of the storyline of Miami football as well. They can't get a playoff win. So
I'm used to it.
Now your Heat, get playoff wins all the time.
Yes.
They overperform.
We can be an 8th seed and make it to the freaking finals.
Right. And I know you're not a Marlins fan, you're a Red Sox fan, but Marlins are terrible. So they don't even know how to spell playoff.
I am not a Miami Marlins fan. I'm a Florida Marlins fan. The second Derek Jeter touched that team, he put all
the Yankees.
No, people go, "Oh, you don't like Derek Jeter because he's a Yankee," and I'm like, "No, I don't like Derek Jeter for what he did to the Marlins."
Yeah, it was terrible what he did to the Marlins.
What he did to the Marlins, and not even like what he did to the team, but what he did where he completely went against the culture of the team and the city, and I will never forgive that man. And that is why I am a Florida Marlins fan and not a Miami Marlins fan. And yeah, it is what it is. I will not give that organization any money.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, they had that great run with Josh Beckett, and then Josh Beckett goes to the Boston Red Sox, and he wins one for the Boston Red Sox. So,
hey, thank you, Florida Marlins, for beating the Yankees in 2003.
Yeah, Josh Beckett, man, he's a good player.
But that's all I have for soccer. You ready to light the lamp?
We're gonna get that soundbite one time, and I'm not gonna do that every day on time. But yep.
All right, we got Panthers. They beat the Oilers 6-5. Let's watch this beautiful girl from Sam Reinhart. He literally defies physics by scoring this. You're not really going to notice it as much until they do the slow-mo of it.
Yep. Here we go.
Turns a pass to the far side for Draisaitl. And it comes out to center off the stick of Sam Reinhart. Nico Mikkola with equalizer. Reinhart scores! Now you see
he was behind the goal.
Sam Reinhart sneaks it home with 12:37 left.
I got to see the replay of that.
First of all, it's Ekholm. This is a good defender. Inside, outside, gets it. Watch. Head up. He's going to bank it off the back of Skinner's mask. And into
Look at that's what he did. He did off his head. That's why he took his mask off.
And that is perfectly placed.
I know that there's a lot of
look at this.
Goaltending purists. Maybe you get upset the way goalies play things. Yeah. All that chaos.
Damn. That was that was slick.
That was slick. That was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. But kind of going back to why it's tough sometimes to watch hockey on television is because it was hard for me to track the puck until I saw the replay. Like when he scores a goal, they're like, it happened? Because that's the main thing is it's hard to watch hockey on television because it's hard to keep up with the puck where it is a lot easier to keep up with the puck when it's live, much less that action is nuts. And then Soul gets excited when they start punching each other.
I mean, I get excited when my team scores goals too.
Right, exactly. Especially like that. That goal was
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Josh, the Preds won 2 games this past week. They beat the Dallas Stars 4-1 and the New York Rangers 2-0, giving them 9 wins on the season. They're still the worst team in the NHL at the moment, but they had a good week. How do you feel about your Preds?
Why? Why are we so bad? I've yet to.
You won.
We won, but we're winning just to not be last, and we still are last. So it's like, ugh. I would think we should go ahead and let the coach go, because our roster is way too good to be as bad as we are. Hopefully this gets us some momentum to where we can at least not be last. Chicago is terrible. We should be better than Chicago. I know
Chicago is terrible.
They are terrible. We should not be behind Chicago. That's just inexcusable. But I'm glad we won 2 games to make it 9. No, not a lot of catfish being thrown on the ice these days. It's a thing. It's a Nashville Preds thing.
And not a lot of yeah, you suck.
Yeah, we're looking in a mirror when we're saying that. I was getting ready. That was my next joke. Yes, anytime the Preds, for those out there, anytime the Preds score a goal, they play Tim McGraw. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And then in the middle of it, you hear the fans go, "Yay, you suck!" And that's what we're doing, looking in the mirror now, because we are terrible.
Honestly, like, as much as I am a Florida Panthers fan, the most fun I've ever had at a live hockey is going to a Nashville Predators game. I used to live in Nashville. It is so much fun. It's so much fun to yell "You suck" with the rest of the crowd, like an entire stadium, Bridgestone arena, yelling "You suck." Like that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it's just Nashville Predators games they're all I love them. Went and saw the one we played, the Lightning in Nissan Stadium. That was cool atmosphere. We lost that game too, but still, it's just Nashville is a hockey town. It's kind of weird to say that, but it is. When the Titans are good, it's still cool. But it's just there's something different when the Preds are
when the Preds are good.
Yeah, it's something different. And then if we somehow another next week, if Nashville somehow another gets a Major League Baseball team, because I know they're trying really hard to get that. It'll be interesting to do, but we got Nashville Sounds are fine, and it's a fun little ballpark to go out to.
And I think Nashville is one of the
WNBA.
They're trying to bid for WNBA and also for women's soccer and NWSL. So Nashville's trying to get some leagues.
Yeah, no, it's a huge. I don't know.
The city. Each time I go, I'm like, oh dang, like it's so different from the last time I've been there. So yeah, Nashville's a fun city. Mm-hmm. But let's talk current leaders. So Atlantic Division, Toronto and Florida before tonight's Florida Panther game, they were tied in first, but Panthers currently are beating the Minnesota Wild 3-1, so we will be top of the Atlantic Division where we're supposed to be. So go Panthers. Metropolitan, as we've said, each week they kind of are changing. They're playing musical chairs with the first part. It's this week it's New Jersey Devils. Central, Winnipeg Jets. They're back on top. And then we got Vegas Golden Knights. Pacific, at the beginning of the season, they were kind of going back and forth. Them, LA Kings. I think they've solidified themselves as the leader in the Pacific. So it's kind of Vegas Golden Knights to lose. LA Kings can still got plenty of games left to go, but I think Vegas is going to take the Pacific. So those are our current leaders. Any more thoughts on the NHL?
I need my Hurricanes to step it up a little bit. I need them to. I know it's going to be going back and forth, but I need the Hurricanes to step it up a little bit just to make me a person who. I need to add nose.
You just want to be right.
I want to be right. I need to add nose puck to my resume because right now I can't do it. I don't really know what icing is, so I need to add. I know ball. I don't know puck yet, and I'm trying to add that to my resume. I predicted the Hurricanes. I got I said the Avalanche were right during the playoffs, but I predicted the Hurricanes. I like Florida coming back, but I didn't predict them to win it last year. But I said if they make the playoffs, then maybe they can make them run. I put in my hard stamp. I said the Hurricanes were going to take it this year before the season started. So if they do win, I will officially add nose puck to my sports resume.
Yeah. But that's all I have on hockey. We could get a little weird.
Let's get weird.
Josh, take it away.
All right. So we have the sports meme of the week. If you've watched our show before, you know how much I give shit to Britain. Not only for losing the Revolutionary War, but also is the fact of you create the sport, we go and dominate in it. And this is our meme. This is kind of how it is. Invent a new sport, spread it around the world, be bad at it. That's kind of your thing. Whereas in America, invent a new sport, no one else plays it, you're world champs. I know that's another thing too. It's just like the NBA or world champs. I'm like, you literally, technically there are international players in the NBA. So I guess if you want to do that, but no.
Hey, that's the excuse baseball gives. Baseball goes,
Yeah.
Well, we got people from around the world playing the sport here.
Right. It's a World Series. I'm like, there's other leagues around the country. Like Japan's crazy. Dominican Republic leagues are crazy. Puerto Rico leagues are crazy. Like it's
Korea.
Yeah, Korea, and I know Venezuela. They're huge. There's a couple of people I knew were from
Mexico.
Venezuela.
Even has a professional league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know a couple of Venezuelans. I'm like, what about soccer? And they're like, no, baseball. They're big in their baseball league. There, and they only have like 12 teams, but they're huge into it. There in Venezuela. So yeah, that's how America is just smarter than you. Why spread it around the world? Where we can just keep it to ourselves and then say we're the best at it around the world, and then we go to the Olympics and dominate you in the other sports. The only thing is we don't have the Canada thing of invent sport, can't beat Florida. Tampa, Florida Panthers. What about Montreal? Nah. Edmonton? No. Toronto? No. Ottawa? It's the capital. That's about as far as I know. Colorado beat you.
Now I'm just waiting for you to break out the USA chant.
Rock, flag, and eagle. America. Yeah.
I mean, I'm always here to talk shit about the British. Like, I'm always here for that. So any meme that is going to talk shit about the British, I'm here for that.
Yeah, explain to me beans on a slice of bread. I've yet to
beans on toast. I've never had beans on toast, but I have had beans as a breakfast when I was in England. I had a full English breakfast. That shit was nasty. It was so gross.
That being said, Canada's poutine is awesome.
Canada's poutine is awesome, but see, they're better part of the Commonwealth. Right. Yeah. English breakfast, man. How do you make fried eggs and buttered toast taste like shit?
I don't know, man.
Even when you added salt to it, I was just like, "What? Why does this taste so bad?"
Yeah. Where do we go? We go to those classy joints called Waffle House. That's what we do.
Yo, Waffle House has never done me wrong.
No, Waffle House slaps, man. I love Waffle House. Depending on when I go, I like to go when it's not 2:00 in the morning. Past that, I'm older than that now. Past that part of my life. But Waffle House, man.
As two people who went to Western Kentucky University, you knew that the only two places that were open late at night was Waffle House and Steak Shake.
Steak and Shake right there, right off, just right outside of campus. That Steak and Shake right there. Woo! That was a lot of 2:00 in the morning there. And I remember leaving the bar one time, and I was like, "We're gonna go to Steak and Shake. We're gonna see some odd things and some French people who love themselves. And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Just trust me." And we saw some guy have his whole conversation just saying, psh, psh, like that's all he did when someone asked him a question. And then there were some French people there who their noses were so stuck in the air. Jeez. It was like they're all related to Pinocchio for how much their noses were just. Jeez.
My favorite thing too is on Scottsville Road, there's 2 Waffle Houses that you can see the other Waffle House from the parking lot of one Waffle House. That's how many Waffle Houses are in Bowling Green.
Yeah. Scottsville Road has the most restaurants on one street. And I believe it's still that was what they told us, and we never went against it, but we were always told that Scottsville had the most restaurants.
Josh is always good for facts that may or may not be facts.
Yeah. Just say it and people will just agree with you.
But anyways, thank you guys for being here with us. Josh, where can the people find us?
The people can find us tomorrow night. You will see, like I said, me and Justin Toner are going to be breaking down the world of wrestling on Ruckus Wrestling there. And then on Monday, we're going, like I said, with the holiday week, I'll be in a different location for family stuff with all the Christmas stuff going on. But we're going to still try and get you, bring you all fantasy F around. Stay tuned. It's going to be tough for us to really get Rev Sports wrap it up but we're still going to try to bring you the content. If anything, you will see us in next year. I know it's always weird when you say that. But yes, we will see. If anything, yeah, January. Then we will turn the calendar to 2025. The year of our Lord? I don't know. That's what they always say. But no, and so we joining us there, bringing all the content, and we've got a lot of things planned for the future. So kind of break us down on what some other things that we're working on for the year of 2025.
If you join our Discord down below or Patreon, I think we're gonna do a book club. Rev Sports, not Rev Sports Book Club. We're not gonna do a Rev Entertainment and Variety Book Club. We're not just gonna read about sports, guys.
Nope. Yep. No. The first book's gonna be Bleachers by John Grisham. It's about how players get paid and all, and the corruption of paying NCAA players now that you can play them. So it's not as relevant today as it was back then, but it was a really good book. So if we really want to do Rev Sports Book Club, we can start out with John Grisham book.
No, we will not be unless you vote for that. So make sure to get into the Discord. We have a book part in there where you could give suggestions. We'll pick a book for January and for each month, and we'll have some fun. And there's other things down the pipeline. We're gonna try to bring back Trailer Park Trivia.
Yep. Obviously, our bracket bitches.
Lots of bracket bitches. We're gonna be bitching it up, you know.
Yeah, all the bitches.
All the bitches. But I'm ready for our moment of zen.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I get to see my dude Terry. All right, let's do it.
Have a masterpiece. We had an artist come in and draw like a really cool portrait that we're going to show in there, so you can unveil it and get your reaction.
We're bozzling, boys, and oh my God. Oh. Nah.
Bro.
And I had the flow going crazy. I might bring that back, honestly. I called it the wings back in the day.
I was basically destined to go to college at Tennessee and wear those overalls because I was wearing them when I was tiny. I didn't have any teeth. And you see the box of Pop-Tarts in the background, so I was really getting it in.
Hey, I gotta find a way to delete this off the internet. Nah, this is crazy. But that's me before I had the little peach fuzz chin here. And yeah, I thought I was that guy.
This was my early days of my modeling career. Made it GQ, boys.
Man, where y'all get this picture from, man? Let's cover him back up. Different time in my life where I was into the selfies. I ain't into the selfies no more, so we're gonna cover that back up.
My boy Terry.
See you guys.
I'm clicking a bunch of shit for some reason.